Ravi was born.
டார்லிங் ஏசி திருவிழா இந்தியாவிலே குறைந்த மாத தவணையில் ஏசி.
Hello Prashanth Neel, how are you?
Good sir, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. So the teaser of Salar was released at a particular time, 5:12 a.m. on July 8th, and there was a fan theory that that was the day Rocky Bhai died in KGF 2. Now the first glimpse, first look of Dragon is being released one day before the midnight of NTR's the hero's birthday. Of course, that is one reason for the timing of this particular asset being released at this particular time. But is there any other secret reason, like
No,
something that is
absolutely not. It's last year we were supposed to put out a teaser on his birthday, but there was a movie that was up for release, Devra, and he requested me not to put it on that day. And, I said, okay, this year we'll have to put out a full-blown glimpse, trailer, whatever you want to call it, for his birthday. It's only for his birthday.
it's only for this?
Yeah.
So I heard that you wanted this to be a celebration, but in a very different way, in the sense that you got really big offers to commercialize this trailer, but you said, I don't want to do any of it. I just want to release it in theaters and on YouTube and not have any ads on it and just put it out there on the thing for NTR and NTR's fans. Is that how you saw it?
So this is the first time we're giving out any information from the movie.
Yeah.
So I didn't want anything to come in the way of that. It shouldn't all of a sudden, I mean, you basically start telling a story that people want to be intrigued by. And I thought it was best not to put anything in between what we were trying to tell and what the people were listening.
Yeah.
So there was nothing else to it. Aesthetically, I just wanted to be just about our movie Dragon.
Now again, this is coming out the night of NTR's birthday, and usually when you put out something celebrating an actor, in Indian tradition, right, it is something celebrating the hero, you have the mass moments from the film, so to speak, that kind of thing is what happens. But you, Prashanth Neel, have done something very different. You are introducing us to the time period, the era. It's an almost documentary like feel of the British era, of what the film is about, who the characters are. What made you decide that, yes, I am going to celebrate my hero in this trailer or first look, but before that, I'm going to fully lay out what the world of this movie is, at least to the extent possible?
So yeah, it was traditionally, even I also in my previous movies have put out content celebrating the hero of the movie without putting the content. And this time we made a conscious effort of, because it's the first time that we are coming out, and I wanted everyone to know the story that we were telling.
Right.
And also celebrate the hero. So that was a conscious effort, and I laid out this plan, and we spoke up, me and the hero spoke, and he said it was a good idea to introduce everything together at the same time. And I think today the audience is ready to hear the story.
Yeah.
Before they come to the theaters. It was a very old tradition for all of us to hide our stories. Now, if I tell you a story, everybody wants to know how it happened.
Right.
So I think we have reached a phase where, I mean, Hollywood does this all the time. They give you probably the entire story, a few scenes. It's probably something that has changed in me also, that I want to entice the audience for the story, not just the visibility of a very grand movie that we are making, but I want to tell them that there is a story that we are telling.
Yeah.
And also gave me the opportunity, because this movie has many layers to it. And I don't want to cut a trailer which is 9 minutes next time. So this time I have told you the world that we are building. It's like I'm telling you which stadium we're playing in.
Yeah.
I'm telling you the pitch conditions and all of those things. So the next time I will tell you the drama. So it becomes easier for me to tell you the drama. It's like if you watch Ramayana, you already know what has happened in Ramayana. Still you go and watch the movie. But if I start by introducing Rama, or if I start by introducing Ravana, you already know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So this syndrome is always a part 2 syndrome. Usually when you are watching the trailer of a part 2, you already know the world, you already know the characters, you already know all of those things. This time we didn't want to wait for another year. We just wanted to tell the audience that, you know, this is the kind of movie we are making, and this is the world we are building around it. So it becomes much more easier for us next time when we want to put out our content.
So your hero is introduced as the very last character after a very large number of cast is revealed, and it's a very dramatic introduction. It's your camera flies over a whole series of like dead people, corpses, and then you see this cutout like hero at a distance, and then you go closer and he's introduced as Luger, the assassin in chief. What made you say that? Because obviously you've shot a lot of what you call mass visuals around NTR. What made you say this is the visual that is going to open my hero to the audience?
So we joke about something, but I have taken it very seriously that we say we have cast the most expensive villain in the history of Indian cinema. So that's the way we're looking at him. He knows that is the character he's playing, and we didn't want to hide that fact.
Right.
There are mass moments that we could have easily presented him in, but that's the story.
Yeah.
That's the story. I told you we don't want to mislead the audience in what we're showing. He's one of the villains of the Afghan trading company.
Yeah.
And that's the way, you know, we wanted to portray it also. So there were many ways that I could have done it, but the reflection of the character has to come out in the first look is what the idea was.
Yeah. Going out of Dragon for 1 second, you get this opportunity to say, I'm Prashanth Neel, NTR is there, we're doing a film together. There are many ways you can fashion a movie for a hero like that who has a mass following. What made you say, this is the relatively dark world that I want to bring my hero into? And when you first told him about this, what was his reaction to that?
So 5 years back we met 5 years back, and when I told him the line of the movie, I'm not going to be presumptuous of the fact that, you know, I want to be humble all the time, but I think this is probably one of the most difficult decisions that he had to take to play this character, not because of what is there in the trailer, but what the drama of the movie is. And it was probably one of the biggest decisions that he had to make to play this particular role. And you'll know by the end of when the story is told why I'm saying that.
Yeah.
And it's a dark character. Obviously, it's a dark character. It's probably more darker than all the characters that I've written till now. It not probably is. It is the darkest character that I've written. And for him to play something like that, for him to think about it, the only question that he asked was, for every character that is either right or wrong, is the drama right for it? Is there a reason behind it? And we came up with that reasoning over the next 3 years. It took us 3 years to get to a scene that I'd written at the end of the movie.
Okay.
And to arrive at that point, for me to validate why this character does what he does.
Right.
It took me 3 years just to pen it down. And at the end of that, he said, well, let's do it. Even if it is a risky, thing for me to do. And it is very, very risky for a star of his magnitude, and he's loved all over the country, all over the world. For him to have accepted to do that, I think was the most difficult decision. And you'll probably know that, you know, I'm not exaggerating what I'm saying now. By the end of the story, you'll understand why that why I feel that what he's doing is absolutely very brave.
I have no doubt, Prashanth, because by now, the few conversations that I've had, I think you are very measured in your words, but you're also very precise in what you say.
Yeah.
So I think you're always, I take you very seriously, and I look forward to how you're going to shape this character and justify the darkness. But I also want to know, the name Luger, is that of a gun, a pistol?
Yeah.
Is that a deliberate kind of?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
He's named after a gun, Luger PP08.
Right. Do you want to talk about that?
It's probably something that you will see in the movie.
You'll see in the movie. Okay, done. You spoke about the darkness. Now, KGF, the Prime Minister calls him the biggest criminal in India. In Salar, we get the character described as a madman. Here, he's an assassin. It's like this trilogy of great characters that you've built around big heroes. First, I want to know what draws you to these morally characters who exist a little bit on this side of the shade that we usually don't see big heroes in.
So, I don't know any other way for me to put this. I've always said that if I want my heroes to look bigger, the villains have to be bigger.
Yeah.
The canvas has to be bigger. That's why you find the most number of movies in the world today made on World War II. The reason for that is because of that great backdrop.
Right.
And I have been fascinated by movies that were made with the World War II as their backdrop, and it instantly gave you a drama. So usually, with all the stories that I've made till now, and you can call this the last of my trilogy. I mean, no disrespect to people involved with it, but this is the last time I'm going to visit a genre like this.
Okay.
For me, I had to tell these three stories. All three stories are very different. It might look the same because of the palette I usually use, but all the three of them are very different from one another when it comes to drama. And I think about the drama as much as I think about just presenting a hero in darkness.
Yeah.
I think about the drama very much.
You have said that you think of yourself as a writer before a director.
Yeah. More so this movie, more so than before.
Yeah.
You tend to evolve.
Yeah.
And when you talk about the three characters I've written, Rocky, Deva, and Luger, they are very different in the sense that they have different reasons for why they arrived to becoming this, very dark character. So all three of them have very different reasons for being that. But as a writer, if you're not justifying that as you go on, then it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It just feels. I know people have said me that my movies are repetitive, but they aren't. I know it. It's not. Probably the look of it makes it seem like that, but then they're not. They're all three different emotions, and I stick to the emotions, and I listen to myself more than I listen to anybody else.
Yeah.
And the drama works for me, and if it works for me, that is why I will be convinced to come and present it to you.
Right. Right. Now again, did you ever consider a PCU, Prashanth Neel Cinematic Universe, given the fact that you see these three films as a trilogy?
I never saw it that way. The only reason I didn't see it that way was there are 3 stars, there are 2 producers who are involved in this, and it never allowed me to think like that because I don't know how to put in something that I hadn't designed before.
Yeah.
And honestly, I mean, many people told me that because other directors were doing it, and of course in Hollywood, they've been doing it for decades. That I thought about it once, but I could never, put it together.
Yeah.
I could never put it together.
So you don't see things like a crossover or anything like
I
that?
think I will be doing it only for money.
Okay.
By that, I mean, I love money, but I don't know where the drama is going to come from.
Okay. But you're not averse to the idea. If there is a possibility.
I'm not averse to the idea, but the franchise syndrome right now is not something that I'm too fond of.
Yeah.
Because you're basically stuck in the same story, in the same loop. If I attempt to do something like that, it's going to take the next 5 years of my life too.
And you did say that this is the last of your
Yep.
your trilogy, so
Yep.
to speak. Now,
So the reason why I said it's the last of my trilogy is, all three movies have a beginning only after the independence of India.
yeah,
I always saw that, as just a student of stories itself, I saw that was always an opportunity that, things could have gone any which ways, because there was a free India at that point of time.
Yeah.
And all these three stories evolve only after India got its independence. So that was an idea that, always stuck with me, that, that there were so many possibilities back then. I mean, I'm not saying that I should think like a criminal always, but
Yeah.
there were so many possibilities back then. So that was a very fascinating period for me.
right. The year that's mentioned here is 1967. It's very clearly, why start in that particular year?
There's no reason for it to start in that particular year. The
Okay.
story starts in 1947, and 1967 is when the drama is going to unfold.
Yeah, I thought maybe because
Historically,
historically
Yeah,
there's a war around that period and things like.
there is a history to it, but something that it's too early for me to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. Fair enough. Let's talk about the world, right? You are very, very particular about the world that you set the films in. They are kind of semi-mythological worlds, the way I look at it. You have Mughal in Ugram, you have Khansar in Salar, you have the gold fields
Narachi.
in
It's called Narachi in KGF.
yeah, it's called that. And here, I don't know what it's called yet, but what fascinates you to create these worlds, and B, what is the world of Dragon, if you can say that?
It's like I've done in my previous movies. It's a dystopian world,
Right.
but this is more accurate than the stories I've told before, because this is set in Mumbai and Calcutta.
Right.
So the cities are real, everything is real. It's a story that I've built around the opium trade,
Yeah.
the heroin trade, that did exist during, when the Britishers were there and after they left also.
Right.
So I think the world that I'm building, I'm just building an arena.
Okay.
I've built an arena where the real drama takes place.
Yeah.
And you just basically want to understand the rules of anything, like whether you're playing football or cricket, you just need to understand what the rules are.
Yeah.
So you can enjoy the drama that unfolds later.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what I've tried to achieve with my first glimpse. And it's as real as I mean, it's a very realistic attempt at the 1967 period.
Right. So this is probably the first, and the reason I ask is because yes, the KGF world does exist, but you still shape it into a vision that is a little bit different, a little more cinematic, a little more vibrant. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
It's like there's a very specific color, there's a very specific tonality, like that. Even though this is set in post-independence India, and in very specific cities that actually exist, is there an attempt to shape those cities, in your words, a dystopian way?
I think so many of the great cities like London, New York were all dystopian cities at some point or the other.
Okay.
When you know when the brotherhoods or the gangsters had taken over.
Right.
So I think this is more of a depiction of a time like that.
Okay. Okay.
Where imagine a city, imagine a city which is a very, very normal city, but you have a dictator.
Yeah.
Or you have a gang lord.
Yeah.
Sitting at the helm of affairs.
Yeah.
Things change. It becomes dystopian.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a very natural setting that we have. We're trying to attempt 1967.
Yeah.
And everything is absolutely normal. There's no fantasy to it.
Yeah.
We're trying to play it as real as possible.
Okay.
But we have put some powerful people at the head of affairs.
Right.
So obviously it changes.
We're going to talk in detail about NTR, but before that I want to talk about this line, the only soil worth remembering is the one soaked in blood. Can you explain that?
That's a line that, that's a line that my wife came up with about 5 years back when we were collaborating with NTR first.
Okay.
And it made a lot of sense to me.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, you remember only the great wars and what happened before that and what happened after that. You don't remember the small battles. By date, you can remember the big wars.
Yeah.
So it has a much deeper meaning to the movie that we're making. And I think after you watch the movie, you'll understand that that has a lot of sense to what we're saying.
How long did you say you've been living with this idea of setting a movie with the opium wars as a backdrop?
For 5 years.
That's when you narrated that one line to NTR is when you started thinking about this?
Yeah.
And you have 6 writers on this film. The writing of it took around 3 years, you're saying?
No, I didn't have writers in the first 3 years.
Okay, okay.
They came in only after that.
Only after that, okay. So your writing alone took around 3 years?
Me and the hero, we used to have chatters. We used to have chats about this.
Okay.
And it's very interesting when we were first writing this that he asked me a question from Mahabharata. He asked me who's the winner of Mahabharata. And I said Krishna, and I said probably Arjuna, and he said Shakuni is the real winner of Mahabharata. That's the only reason Mahabharata really happened, and that's why we remember it, because of that great war. And when he told me that, I did not think about it. I did not think about it in that perspective. NTR is phenomenal with drama. I trust him with drama. When I go to him and I talk to him, I really trust him. It's not because I have to go to my hero to get his approval.
Yeah.
I really trust him with his drama.
His instincts for drama.
His instinct for drama is just phenomenal. There's not a single time that he's asked me about a scene and whether it is elevated enough, or if the shots are right, or if all of these things. But he asks me, is the drama right for this? And he's phenomenal with drama, so I trust him a lot. So when he told me about this, I immediately went to him and I told him a scene which changed the course of the entire movie. That's how I and he sat down and we sat down and we wrote.
Right.
So usually what I do is I go to one audience that I trust to get a feedback. Obviously, I can't sit and narrate it to a host of people.
Yeah.
And luckily for me, NTR was absolutely phenomenal. The kind of inputs that he's put into this has been brilliant, and I'm very, very happy to be in an environment around him where we can have a conversation about drama alone.
Yeah.
Because usually director like me will get carried away to show only the big moments.
Yeah.
Several times he has told me that the big moments have to have drama, otherwise we don't have to have the big moments. So he basically we wrote it together.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We bounced it off each other.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I think that space that we had, whilst he was doing Triple R and whilst I was doing KGF and Salar, we had multiple times where we just sat down and had a conversation. So we developed it over that period.
Lovely. And then you refined it with
of course,
your
of
bunch
course,
of
all my
writers.
writers.
All the writers. Okay. Just to clarify one point, when you say that post-independence India could have gone anyway, would you say that this is reflecting a kind of disillusionment, these rise of these anti-heroes?
I think the heroes never arrived in all my stories. The heroes never arrived after 1947. It was the opportunities
Right.
that arised to form empires, to form parallel governments.
Right.
And that is what I have depicted in all my movies.
Yeah.
It's not about the rise of the hero. The hero comes only when we have it in our, we have a line in our trailer in the glimpse where he says, even the writer knows that when the villains play foul,
Yeah.
that's when the hero comes into the story.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how it is. I looked at 1947 and post 1947 as more of an opportunistic period
Right.
for vicious people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not for the heroes, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're calling him a hero. What does Anil Kapoor then get called? Because Anil Kapoor in this teaser gets called, like he's.
I'm calling him a hero because the whole world is calling him that, but he's our biggest villain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We have other heroes in the movie.
Yes.
Yeah. You need a hero and a villain to be in a movie, so.
So that is what we're seeing is there could be some deception in it as well.
You want to look at it as a deception? It's an information that I've given out.
No, what I'm saying is you're playing your cards so that the audience gets an idea, but they're also kind of fully not told what is the thing, right? That's what I mean by deception.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
When I tell you that somebody is a villain, you don't know if he's a villain or not till you watch the movie. And the thing with the information that we give out initially, me or any of the directors, is we want you to walk into the theater understanding that this is the character that somebody is going to be playing.
Yeah.
And if you see the character change or not change, that becomes the drama.
That becomes the drama. Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about the look of the hero. He's leaner, he's fitter. Of course, in RRR he was muscular. That's a different thing. But fit is not a problem. But he looks a very specific way, like a very specific kind of warrior. How did you design that look of NTR?
Yeah, that's a very big story. A year and a half back, about a year and a half back, we were ready, geared up to start filming the movie. And we did a look with him. We shot and we did a look test, and I just went up to him and I told him that if you became thinner for the role of the assassin, it would help. And he's, there's this Chinese saying, beware of what you wish for. And he became unstoppable after that. We didn't shoot for the next 4 months, and he lost about 15 kilos at one point of time. And I asked him to stop many times in between, because he started looking frail and became paler, but he didn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
He said, for the story that you are writing, I want you to get what you envisioned. And he just went. His wife was upset with me, his mother was upset with me, all his friends were upset with me. Everybody who knew him were upset with me. My whole team was upset with me. But I told them that was not my doing. I just told him to lose a little bit of weight. And he went berserk with it. He's that sort of a person, it's very difficult to not If he's convinced with something, it's very difficult to get him out of that.
Right.
That's the stubbornness that I have not seen in anybody else. You know, he just said, that is what you want. You want my cheeks to go down. You want my body to be leaner. You want me to look like an assassin who was trained in Afghanistan. I will do it. And we spent the next 4 months looking at him suffer. And he suffered a lot, because somebody who has to lose about 15, 16 kilos in just a space of, you know, a few months. In the first 2 months, he had lost so much of weight that everybody was worried.
Yeah.
But he didn't stop. He absolutely didn't stop. And we were very worried. All the blame was put on me. It was on social media. It was everywhere that, you know, he had some illness and he was not happy or something like that. I don't know what it was, but he's the true really mad man that I've seen.
But this was done in a scientific process with a trainer and all that, right?
Of course, he called his trainer. The moment I went and told him this, I think I discussed this with him at 7 in the evening. And he called his trainer. He was there at 7:30. And the next morning, he started his routine. And we had to postpone our shoot by a few months. But we were more than happy at the end of the day with the result.
Right. I want to talk about the introduction of the villains that you have here. Now, the introduction happens, or rather the big row of villains that you have, their introduction happens over the voiceover of the Genesis, which is the first book of the Bible, and the voiceover is that of the character of Rukmini Vasant, and she's holding a baby like the Madonna and child, like Mary and the baby Jesus. You're probably going to say we can't talk about it or something like that, but I want to know if
we can't talk about it.
But am I onto something with that connection, that there may be something biblical in this?
Isn't there something biblical in everything?
Yeah, okay.
I think, that philosophy runs everywhere.
Right.
So it all comes from these great books.
It all comes from these great books. Okay, we shall discuss this no further. Yeah, it's there for everyone to see. Okay. You've directed Yash, you've directed Prabhas, and now you've directed NTR. When you look at them, you have your discussions, you have your meetings, you lock your dates, you get them to do the looks, whatever it is. Then comes the moment where you go behind the camera and look at them for the first time executing a scene that you have written. And what was that like with NTR?
NTR is, you know, for the last 25 years, I've been a big fan of his.
Yeah.
And watching all these mass movies that he has done, and directing him finally. You know, when I got the call first from my 3 movies, that, you know, that I had to go meet, and I was very, 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 very excited. At the same time, I was afraid that this persona, you know, that I've seen on screen, the energy that he has, might be very, toxic to me. I was fearful of that.
Toxic in what way?
You know, there are actors who have set their pattern
Right.
in what they want and what they want to do. And if you look at him, it feels like you can't change his mind.
Yeah.
From the outside. And I usually want to fall in love with my heroes, because we're literally married for a couple of years. And I have to fall in love with them. It was intimidating to go and meet him, but after we did, and you know, the time that we spent, the practicality in which we approached the situation. Of course, he's family to me right now, and I can say that. That stubbornness is something that I understood. And you know, he's brash with his stubbornness. He's not somebody who's going to hide his stubbornness. And I understood that. So there was no way that I'm going to go and tell him that, you know, you are supposed to act like this, you're supposed to walk like this. He used to do it, and there used to be very, very minor corrections. But I knew, you know, what he was giving. I didn't know what he was going to do with this character, but from the moment he walked out and he did what he did, I understood that he understood the character, and it was exactly, exactly where I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
I was very happy, and I told him that also. So somebody like working with NTR is like, it's like he's on, he's self-programmed to do what he has to do.
Yeah.
And because he understood the character and he loves the drama of the movie. That's, I was very excited because he spoke about the drama so much that I wanted to see how it's going to come out on screen.
Yeah.
And we shot first, we started the movie with an action episode, and I was not able to see the full range of, what you want to see the character do. Because that, in a fight, you basically, the director has more work to do than but then we got to the talkie portions, and that just brightened my vision of what the movie was going to look eventually. You need to have that conviction of becoming that character, and he became very seamless with it. He's a star, he knows that he's a star, but he was more of Luger than he was an NTR on screen.
Yeah.
Could have brought in the swagger, he could have brought in all of those things, but he just understood the character and he said, this is what I'm going to do. I didn't have to do too much after that.
You just gave him probably the best compliment a director can give, which is, I understood that he understood the character. I mean, that's probably the best sync that can happen between a director and an actor.
Yes, and we've been writing this drama together.
Yeah.
For the, at least 3.5 years before we started the movie. We were writing the drama together. So, it was basically like, he used to tell me so many shots. And I had that confidence, when you go to unlearn something, it's more difficult than to learn something.
Yeah.
And I was wondering with everything that he has done till now, and he's very intelligent. He watches world cinema,
right.
He watches all of those things, and he knows that he has to act in a certain way, but he wasn't doing that for all these years. And I wanted him to do something different here.
Right.
And there was no rigidness, there was no friction, there was absolutely nothing. He understood that this is how I should play Luger, and that is what he did, which just was absolutely seamless for me.
Fantastic. What did you, while discussing this over 3 years, tossing back ideas back and forth while you were doing your films and he was doing his films, did you guys discuss any reference movies like, we should do something like this, we should do something like that, we should try for something like this? Was that?
So I wanted to get away from the genre that I've already done,
Yeah.
the KGF, Salar, or Dragon. I wanted to get away from that.
Yeah.
It was for a brief period, probably 15-20 days in between, that we thought that we should try something with mythology.
Okay.
But the story itself, is so fascinating. As a one-liner, when you can tell your story in a single line and get a reaction, evoke a reaction from somebody, I think that you don't want to let that story go. So we probably had a very, very brief conversation about doing something else. But yeah, I think we were destined to do this.
Yeah. No, I'm asking in terms of look or feel or whatever it is, did you, because you said, for example, World War movies, you brought up something else. So was there any?
More than that, we referenced the 1960s.
1960s.
Yeah.
You look for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
That space in usually, what a director wants to do by putting it in a period is to make it more believable with the unbelievable story they're trying to tell.
Yeah.
It becomes much easier.
Yeah.
Like you go back 4,000 years ago to bring in a magic spell.
Yeah.
You can do all of those things. So we were trying to achieve the 1960s more than we were trying to reference from other movies.
Nice, nice. Apart from, you said the dramatic portions, there is one portion that you give a specific amount of weightage to in the first glimpse. And again, I think you're going to say you have to see the movie to understand that, but there is where he's pointing and he's literally quivering with emotion. He's like shivering. His body is like literally shaking, and his eyes are glowing with this intensity. You focus on that for like about 10 seconds. What you want to talk about that?
So this is a first glimpse. It's completely devoid of drama.
Okay.
It's completely devoid of drama because I'm not telling you how the characters are interacting with one another. The moment I tell you that, the drama starts.
Yeah.
So we just thought, it's not because it's a very impressive shot of the great man. It's just that there is drama in the movie.
It's to give a hint of a flavor.
It's to give a hint of the drama that is going to come. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If I were to ask you, what is the USP of this film, apart from its hero? What would you say it is?
This is, as a director, I've evolved, obviously. I should evolve. And this is probably first time I'm telling my story through my characters without being very heavy-handed with the direction aspect. When I say that, it means that, my characters, all of them have a flavor to this. Everybody has a backstory. Every one of the characters that I showed you is not somebody who comes in for embellishment of, the story, or to just make it larger than life. All of them have a story. And I've told all my actors also this time that, I'm going to use the camera, I'm going to wield the camera far more lazily than I've done it in my previous movies.
Lazily?
I've been very interactive with the camera by, changing angles, by doing that, by using a lot of motion.
Yeah.
This movie is going to have everybody tell the story to the audience. The story that, of course, I have written, but I want them to tell the story more. I've evolved. I've seen movies which have done very well in the past also, where, you take back the characters home. And I've been a director who's been very event-oriented with what I've done, and I've learnt from what I've done. If I want to make it more endearing, I want people to remember it a lot more. I want my characters to do the heavy lifting for me. And the USP of this movie is going to be that you're going to take back a lot of characters home with you. Whether it is with their performances or whether it is with their emotion, all of that.
Right.
Every one of the characters that I've showed you.
So are you saying that in your earlier films, you probably focused on the main characters alone, and here you're focused on all the characters is that what you're trying to say?
No.
Okay.
I used to concentrate a lot on my events.
Okay.
Like I used to make it a very event-based movie.
Right.
Like the event, the drama always led to, like let me give you an example. In KGF, when the movie opens, there's Andrews who goes to Mumbai to get him income. I have not told you who Andrews is. I have not told you whether he has a wife or child.
Yeah.
This movie concentrates on every character, so we haven't wasted even one of these characters. We have got some brilliant actors to play every role. I made sure that they're all actors. They're not somebody who just look good for the screen.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very happy that we spent so much of time to write. And the first time, me and the hero, we decided that we're not going to talk about the length of the movie.
Okay.
So we're going to present the movie in a way where it is going to be seamless, that the characters are going to be telling the story. That was a prerequisite of what we wanted to do, and for that we needed the best actors for the particular role.
So to sum up, what was the experience of working with NTR?
You know a nuclear plant, right?
Okay.
He powers it. His enthusiasm for cinema, his enthusiasm for drama, and I've said this before also, his enthusiasm for drama is just absolutely unparalleled. He looks at a movie like it's a story. So it has to be convincing as a story before we make it into a movie. He loves the characters, he loves the drama of the other characters also. He's very interested in what somebody else is saying. So it feels like, we're a team.
Right.
It doesn't feel like I have been brought in to elevate the hero.
Yeah.
Because I'm known to do that.
Yeah.
To give this mass appeal. But he's not worried about that at all. He knows that comes with the drama.
Yeah.
It has to come very organically with the drama.
Yeah.
And the journey that we have had is about the story.
Right.
It's more about the story than it's about making a movie.
Right.
He's been very specific with that, and that was a very new experience for me to understand that, first you got to get the story right before you get the movie right.
Right. Right.
That also drove me to think that, the pen is mightier than the sword in many ways. He's somebody who's so stubborn in the way he thinks, and I'm saying stubborn in a very good way.
Yeah.
In his beliefs of what the movie should be, and that has rubbed off on me.
Right.
In terms of not changing my storytelling, but in telling the story itself, or in writing down the story. So it's been we have this. We have a chat like, it's not like a meeting room that we sit down and we talk about. It's just about drama.
Right.
That's probably one of the highlights that I have, that I can gather, when I tell India, because also I think his life has been a drama. It's pure drama, and the people close to him will always understand why he is the way he is always. And I'm absolutely privileged to be around a man like that, even as an individual, not just as a film personality. And I think we're going to make a great movie together.
Fantastic. Because you mentioned that this is the last of the trilogy, I want to talk about two aspects of your films that are very, very specific as a director that you do. One is the color palette of the film, and one is the music of the film. In what way do these elements in Dragon continue from the other films, and in what way do these differ from those films?
So it's been a point of debate that not just people have come to me and spoken to me. Also, it has been a point of debate with my family also, that why do you continue to make movies which look very similar?
Okay.
I'm not here to present Prashanth Neel. I'm not here to present the brand.
No.
I'm here to tell you a story. My job is to tell you a story, and all the stories that I have chosen have the elements that you just asked about, the music and the lighting.
Yeah.
All three of them demand that.
Yeah.
And if I change that just because somebody is telling me this, somebody is telling me that I have to change my style, then I'm doing injustice to the story.
Sure.
I've stopped listening to people. I had an Instagram account and a Twitter account a few years back. I deleted it because I was putting out my opinions on the page.
Right.
So now I don't want to hear anybody else's opinions. The only people's opinions that matter to me is the people who are working in this movie, who are making this story with me.
Yeah.
My hero primarily, because we both have the highest stakes in the movie.
Yeah.
I listen to him, and he understands what the story is.
Yeah.
And he understands the color palette that I'm working in right now is very true to what the story has to reflect.
Right.
So I will not change it just because somebody comes and tells me that, I've been repetitive in my attempt of storytelling. It's not at all because of that. When you watch the movie, you'll understand that this world requires a certain aesthetic to it, and I'm putting that aesthetic to it. It's my job as a director to not get carried away by what somebody else has to say. I have to be adamant about my beliefs as a storyteller. It's not about my OCD, or it's not about my liking. I'm basically making the movie for people to like.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would make different movies. I love making different movies, but I'm making these movies because I know that people will like it in theater. I'm assuming that they'll like it in theater, and that's what I'm attempting to do once again here.
Right. What are the logistical challenges that you had to face in this movie that were maybe a little different from the challenges that you faced in your earlier films?
It's the first time I went out to shoot in a foreign country. We went to Jordan to film some of the portions. But I won't call it a difficulty. It becomes a part of reflex as you go on. If I still call it a difficulty to shoot an action movie, you know, it's not injustice to the people that I'm working with. You know, I have a great bunch of technicians. I have a great direction department. I have a great DOP department. I have a fantastic bunch of producers, you know, who give me everything that I want on a whim and a fancy. So I shouldn't be saying that trying to tell my story because it has got a bigger scale is a challenge to me. The only challenges that we always have is to convince the audience that they are sitting down in a theater and get into the world of the 1960s or 1940s or whatever we are trying to present. Beyond that, I think, you know, it's just the attention to detail which is more of a challenge. Because once you make a period movie, you have more of that attention to detail. If somebody wearing a watch from today's era, or is somebody, you know, is a cell phone left out on the table, those are the simple challenges that we probably go through.
Actually, that is right, because when you're going back to the 60s and filming in a modern day India, that's, I mean, unless you have sets all over, it's going to be quite difficult. And,
absolutely difficult. But that's what we chose to do.
That's what you chose to do. So, about KGF, you said that it became a pan-India film by accident, but Salar and Dragon are intentionally designed to appeal to, like, it's going to be released in 5 languages and so on and so forth. What makes Dragon pan-India?
I know, we never start claiming to say that, you know, a movie is pan-India or not till the audience says it's pan-India.
Okay, but you are targeting
obviously everybody will
the
do
multiple,
it. When we sit down to write a story, we try to write the best story in the world. We try to make the best movie in the world. It's only up to the audience whether they think it is the best movie or not. So the structure of pan-India today, I think it should be lost by now. You know, the word pan-India should
no longer
probably get phased out over a period of time. It's not because a director who's done KGF is attempting to do once again, so his name is out there, or NTR has done so many movies which have gone out there, that, you know, we are attempting to do the same thing. We are trying to tell a very universal story, and that I think has more appeal than the scale and you know, the glitz in it. It's about the story that we are trying to tell.
The universality becomes by default something that appeals to everybody.
Obviously, otherwise I wouldn't be attempting to do something like that.
Now that this is kind of going to, there's an actual release date attached to Dragon, you're not obliged to talk about this, but what are your, in your head, do you have things swimming about Salar 2, KGF 3, all these things that are kind of out there, but you have to complete, definitely, you know, give a closure to Salar. You have to probably kickstart a KGF, I don't know, but or right now you've kind of said all of that can wait until this releases.
So I have a responsibility right now to the story that we have written for Dragon, responsibility to the people who are working in it, and my focus is right now just completely on Dragon. Beyond that, I don't think I can think beyond that right now. There are discussions that come and go, but as of now, you know, my complete attention and focus is completely on Dragon.
No, I understand that completely, but what I was asking is also, sometimes during an off moment you might get an idea and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to note this down for a future date, you know, that kind of a thing.
Right now everything that I'm writing is for Dragon.
Is for Dragon. Okay, that's cool.
Even if I get an idea in Salar, I'm going to keep it for Dragon.
So when you've finished, when you're done with this trilogy, what are the genres that you want to kind of attempt next?
More colorful movies.
More colorful films?
Probably.
Give up the dark palette that Prashanth Neel is known for. We might finally see pink in a Prashanth Neel movie. But seriously, what, like, do you have any specific genres in mind?
I've written a mythology, which I've been yearning to make for for a couple of decades now. And probably I'll get to that eventually.
Right.
After I have fulfilled all my commitments that I have now in the near future.
Do you remember this thing that you said when you first approached Hummale and you told them a family story and they said you have something else, and then you narrated a scene from KGF, and then that became that movie? And does that family story still have a place in the lineup?
Yeah, that was for Apu sir, that was for Puneet Rajkumar, and probably it's gone with him.
Okay, I can understand that. You see somebody in that thing and you can't think about that again. So finally, Prashanth, what is Dragon about? If you want one thing people to take away from this first look that's come out, what is it that you want them to take away?
From what we have communicated in the teaser is very contrary. It's like I told you, it's just a setting.
It's a setting, the playground, so to speak.
But the real drama of the movie is that we are attempting, and we probably will end up making one of the most patriotic movies ever seen.
Oh, okay. That I'm a little bit in.
Yeah.
I didn't expect that answer.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. That's the attempt.
Okay.
And the way things are shaping up with the beautiful actors that I have, and I think I will achieve something like that.
Oh, wonderful. Because I was talking to somebody yesterday, and without saying anything, they said that if you ask Prashanth about the real core of this movie, and if he replies, it's going to be really shocking and surprising. Maybe this is what it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a little more?
No, nothing more.
Okay. But thank you so much for your time, Prashanth. It's
Thank
always
you so much, sir. Thank you for
a pleasure
having me
talking
on.
to you, and I follow your career with intense interest, because that word that you use in your interviews a lot, larger than life, you try to do a lot within that. And it's always interesting to see somebody with a very, you call your hero stubborn, but I think you are also a very, very stubborn person, and it's interesting to see you carry on with your journey. So all best wishes for Dragon, and 11th June 2027.
Yeah.
Look forward to that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
டார்லிங் ஏசி திருவிழா, இந்தியாவிலே குறைந்த மாத தவணையில் ஏசி.